Congratulations, you've just found the ultimate guide of how to get clear skin naturally. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you all the practical advice you need in order to take action in your own lives so you can get that clear skin that you've always wanted. Now, if you don't want to listen to me ramble on for however long this video is going to take, then just look at the description down below and I'll list all of the practical advice there as well as timestamps for the video. Okay, so the first port of call when we're talking about skin health is genetics. Now, many of you might be wondering what I mean by genetics, but basically this is how individuals vary from one another. Say, the biggest argument people have when we're talking about natural skincare is, well, I have such a friend, or I know such a body who eats crap, doesn't exercise, but they have beautiful, clear, glowing skin. Okay, well, I think we all know that person in our lives, and it can seem perhaps unfair, and it can get you frustrated and upset or whatever, and you're like, why is this happening to me? But it's just basically the fact that we're all on a genetic spectrum, and they're detoxifying or showing symptoms of toxicity in their body internally, in different systems going on internally, whereas the people watching this video, you probably have your expression of toxicity in your body is more external, okay? So it's showing up in your skin, and that's unfortunately how it is. But I think that actually having bad skin or a skin condition like eczema is actually a blessing in disguise, because you've got to remember it's a cause and effect universe, and the effect is that you can actually see it. You can actually see that you've got bad skin, and that is letting you know that something's going wrong in your body. Now, people who don't have bad skin, they're either doing everything that I'm saying in this video and doing it correctly, okay, and the superior health gurus or whatever, okay, or more likely they just genetically express these symptoms of toxicity in the internal systems of the body. So it's a lot harder for them to figure out what's actually going on, okay? So you're lucky, you've got this mirror, you've got this reflection of what's happening internally, and that's showing up in your skin, all right? So you can see with whatever practices you're doing, whether that be through diet or something you're applying topically, or how you're trying to change your thought patterns, you're going to see if it's working by looking at your skin, okay? And that's great. Use that to your advantage, and that's what I did, all right? So we know that skin has a genetic component, we know that it's a cause and effect universe, but we're not going to get a victim mentality and go, oh, well, it's just my genetics, so there's nothing I can do about it. Guess I'm just going to have spots or acne for however long, you know? No, not at all. It took me about 7 years to figure all this stuff out, but you guys have got it here, all of the information I know today in this one video, so please make use of it. And I'm telling you now, don't waste your time on all these other pointless videos that you might see. Now, I'm not saying all of them are rubbish, okay, but I've been through a lot of them YouTube videos and articles in the past, and they haven't helped me whatsoever. In fact, many of them are giving bad advice. Okay, so let's get into the first real bit of practical advice. When we're talking about improving our skin health, we're talking about improving our body health. And one of the essential parts of this is looking at the 4 elements. Now, the 4 elements are fire, air, water, and earth. So we talk about fire first. Fire represents the sun. We need to get out in the sun for vitamin D and also to enhance our mood, enhance the way we think, just bring more positive energy to us. Now, I know this might sound a bit woo-woo, but science doesn't understand fully the benefits of the sun. But I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me that you feel better when you're out in the sun, okay? Common sense, and it's essential for vitamin D production. So if you don't have access to go out in the sun that often, then please do take a vitamin D3 supplement. Again, links will be down below, so check that out. The next thing we're going to look at is air. What is the quality of the air that you're breathing? If you live in a city and it's very polluted, then you're not going to have the best quality air. So you can either look at getting some sort of air filters for your home. Now, I don't know a lot about that, but that's one possible route. Or what I do know about, living in a city currently while I'm studying human nutrition, a lot of cities have green spaces, okay? Different big parks where you can go and just get out in some sort of nature in more of an oxygen-rich environment. So you want to make sure that you do that as often as possible. If you live in more of a rural area where the air is a lot cleaner, then cool, you've nailed it. Okay, so we've talked about fire, air, now it's time to discuss water. So as many of you know, most of the body is made up of water, so therefore it would make logical sense that the quality of water that you're ingesting, that you're intaking in, is very important to how your health is and how that's represented on your skin. So we need to think, okay, well, in the UK where I am, very lucky, developed countries, we have access to clean water. Now that's amazing, but what's not so amazing is how they make it clean, because they add all these different chemicals to the water, okay? Now these chemicals are not good for your health. So basically what you've then got to do is think, okay, I need to now remove these chemicals. Now the way to do this would be to get a water filter. The better water filter you have installed in your home, the better quality of water you're going to get, generally, as a rule of thumb. The more expensive ones, the more of these chemicals they can filter out. So that's one option. If you live near a natural spring or have access to a good quality well, then that's also another option, but I know a lot of people don't have that, okay? Again, don't worry if you can't afford a water filter, it's not the end of the world, but it's just something to consider, and in the future where you might have enough income to buy yourself a water filter, I'd say it's going to be a crucial component to giving you the best health possible. Okay, so the last thing, we talked about fire, air, water, and now it's time for earth. How often are you actually barefoot on the earth, okay? How often are you electrically grounded to the earth? Now, this might sound a bit woo-woo, but it's really beneficial to be barefoot. Again, this is practical advice video. This is an explanation video, but grounding, okay? So barefoot, on the grass, on the beach, on the soil, whatever it is, okay? You want to be barefoot as often as possible. And I'm sure you'll all agree that being barefoot outside feels pretty good. And a lot of people do. But unfortunately, if you're in a built-up city and you don't have access to go out and, you know, stand on the beach or stand outside in nature barefoot, you know, then you can get a grounding mat. Now, just quickly go over and grab my grounding mat so you can have a look at it. That basically earths you to the electrical current in the ground, and it's your next best option. Obviously, it's best to go barefoot outside, but if you don't have that option, then recommend a grounding mat. So just got one here, it's actually plugged in. So it's just got a little plug, and it's a little mat like this, okay? Dead simple, not so expensive, and you can just, when you're doing some work at your desk or watching YouTube or a film in the evening, you can just do that. You can also get it for bed sheets and stuff like that. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up the 4 elements. Again, links below if you want to learn more about that, and I'm going to link some cool videos that explain it a lot better than I have. Okay, so just quickly look at my notes here. Okay, yeah. So here we're going to move on to externally. Externally, what you're applying to your skin, what you're doing to your skin, and this isn't to do with diet, this isn't to do with internally, this is external now. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys kind of the order of things I would do chronologically, kind of like a skincare routine, if you will. Again, this isn't set in stone, feel free to experiment by yourselves, but this is what has worked best for me. Okay, so you want to start with skin brushing, dry skin brushing. Now, dry skin brushing will help unclog all your pores, remove all the dead skin, exfoliate, and it's a lot better than using all these creams of however many chemicals in, okay? So dry skin brushing. Now, once you're doing dry skin brushing, I've got a video on that, by the way, and I'll link that down below. But there's loads of other videos on dry skin brushing as well that you can check out. So you want to do that, it'll help stimulate your lymph system. Your lymph system is like the garbage men, the bin men of your body, okay? And that'll help take out the trash. Very important, but again, beyond the scope of this video. So dry skin brushing. Now, after you've done your dry skin brushing, you'll then want to go and apply a clay mask of some sort, okay? Now, you can buy all these really fancy clay masks and whatever, but you don't know what ingredients to put in, and usually it's not that beneficial for your skin. So just make it up yourself, okay? It's a lot cheaper, and it's going to be better for you. Personally, I like to use bentonite clay. It's just the bentonite clay I've got there, you know. I'm not sponsored by any of these brands, I don't know, it's just the cheapest one on Amazon, to be honest. But if you have the option, you should probably do your research more and get higher quality stuff. But student budget, so can't always afford that. So you put a tablespoon of that in, let's say, into a little bowl, and you'll add some apple cider vinegar. I just got a big jug of it because I use a lot, so you know, more cost efficient. But yeah, so you'll mix that 1-to-1 ratio. You don't have to use apple cider vinegar, but if you are going to, make sure it's with the mother with the enzymes. Again, links down below. But yeah, you can use water instead, or you can do a half and half, half apple cider vinegar, half water. Do that, apply your clay mask, okay? So you've done your dry skin brushing, clay mask. As soon as that's dried, you go in the shower. Now you're gonna wet your hair a little bit. You don't have to rub off your clay mask or whatever at this point, but just wet your hair in the shower and then apply the shampoo that I'm gonna tell you about. So a lot of shampoos, and if you go into your shower now, you can pause the video, just have a look at the ingredients, you know, and you'll be horrified because it's really hard to find a shampoo product that is not filled with crap. And if you're looking at some shampoo products that do that, it's usually very, very expensive. And even then, I'd argue that making it yourself is better. So the way I make mine is I use a clay called Rhassoul clay. And again, I'll mix that 1-to-1 ratio with apple cider vinegar. Again, you can use water if you like. And then you'll wet your hair in the shower, turn the shower off. You'll massage this mixture that you've made up, this shampoo, into your hair for 5 minutes. Now it's important that you do it for the full 5 minutes because I've tried experimenting. Oh, I'll just rub it in for a minute. No, it's not been good. It's still cleaned my hair, but it's not been good for my scalp health. AKA I've been getting like dandruff and stuff, okay? Which nobody wants. So if you massage it in for a good 5 minutes, it's perfect. Absolutely great scalp health and hair health. And it's going to be better than all these fancy shampoos that I know a lot of you might be taking to help revitalize and restore and strengthen your hair or whatever. This is going to do that job a lot better, trust me. Okay, so again, links down below for that. So you've done your shampoo, and now it's time to do the contrast showers. This is in my dry skin brushing video as well, where I talk about contrast showers. So basically you just do hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, and you always end on a cold unless you are a really low energy person and you really struggle to warm back up, in which case you should finish on the warm. But for the vast majority of people, finish on the cold. And you do it for about 15-second intervals, and you can do as many intervals or cycles as you want. Some people like to do 3 revolutions, some people like to do 20 revolutions. It's completely individual. It's something to think about. Again, that's going to help stimulate your lymph system, like we talked about earlier. The bin men, making sure the trash is being taken out efficiently of your body. Okay, so you finish that, you're all nice and clean, because you can use the clay, all the clay that we're talking about, that can be used just as soap, so under your armpits, all over your body, and it's going to give you a real good clean. Okay, so don't worry about using any of the soaps, you can just use the clay. Works perfect for me, and it's worked the best for me. There are other natural hemp soaps and things out there. I've not got any personal experience, but it could be something you could try, and it's probably a little bit easier than mixing up the clay every time you want to have a wash, but the clay has worked best for me, okay? So you get out of the shower, and now what you're going to do, you're going to reach for the towel. What's your towel made of, okay? Look at the materials that it's made of. You want it natural materials, so we're talking like 100% cotton here. None of this polyester stuff. It's not going to be good for you, okay? Again, you might think it's woo-woo, a bit too extreme. Honestly, I don't care. This is my personal observations, and if you really want the best health and skin health possible, then you do well to listen to my advice. But as I say, take everything that I do say with a pinch of salt and do your own research. I encourage you to do that. Don't just blindly follow what I tell you, but at the same time, I am a trustworthy guy. I'm not trying to sell you anything, and this has just all been my experience, and I want to share this wisdom with you. Okay, so make sure your towel is 100% cotton or whatever other natural material. Dry yourself off with that, and you're probably going to want to use a moisturizer of some sort, depending on the health of your skin. I use coconut oil. That's the one I've got the most experience with, and it's worked great, okay? There are other oils like argan oil and stuff that you can experiment with. Personally, I've just stuck to the coconut, never had an issue. Just don't use too much of it, okay? Don't really slather it on, okay? Just a thin layer is perfect. So after you've done coconut oil, you might want to put some deodorant on. Now, all these spray deodorants especially, really bad. Roll-on deodorants, like, pretty bad also. Look at the ingredients in them, okay? Not good for you. So you gotta think, okay, well, I've seen some like rock salt deodorant, like roll-on things, and I've tried them, like salt of the earth deodorants or whatever, okay? I'm not trying to knock any company or name drop here, but just my own personal experience, and they've not really worked too well. But what I have found has worked really well is their alum crystal. Links down below, but I'll just show you it here. It's in this bag. So it's like this. It's literally just a block of crystal. Completely natural, nothing added to it, okay? You just wet it and apply it. Dead simple, really effective. So I definitely check that out. It's gonna be much more beneficial for your health. And so you've applied your deodorant, you've applied your moisturizer, you're gonna put your clothes on probably. Again, like we talked about with the towel, natural fibers, cotton, hemp, whatever it's gonna be, but definitely no polyester or anything to that effect. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Okay, make sure your clothes are washed in the correct. There is no right or wrong or whatever. Okay, it's all individual, but don't use a washing powder full of all this fragrance and stuff. Not good for you. A lot of people are very sensitive to it anyway. And if you're having skin flare-ups or whatever, these washing powders with all the chemicals in, not going to be good for you. So use something that's fragrance-free, as natural as you can get it. I don't have a lot of experience in this area, but you do want definitely fragrance-free washing powder. So that's kind of covered that area. And then obviously you want to, I'm sure you will have heard this a million times, you want to exercise, anaerobic, aerobic exercise, getting in the sauna, just sweating a lot, okay? Infrared sauna, if you have access to that, that can be really beneficial. Just all this sweating. Oh yeah, and as well, a lot of you might do perfumes or colognes. Obviously I wouldn't recommend that. I'd recommend using something like essential oils instead, if you want to smell nice for the girls or guys or whatever. But if you are going to just use your cologne and you really like the smell of it, okay, then fine. But maybe just apply it to your clothes instead of your actual skin, okay? That way it's not going to seep into your skin the same way because it's not good for you, alright? But yeah, so that's pretty much everything I can think of off the top of my head for external stuff that you can do. Yeah, 4 elements and all that. Okay, so I think now we move on to internal health. And we'll kickstart that with talking about the health of your mouth. Now, you're going to want to use a tongue scraper to scrape all the stuff off your tongue. You look at your tongue in the morning, it'll probably look pretty disgusting, so make sure you scrape all of that off. It's all linked together, okay? So this clear skin video is actually a full body health video of like, this is how you're going to get clear skin though. It isn't by buying some fancy product and just doing stuff externally. It's a full body approach, okay? A root cause. This is a root cause video. This isn't the easy solution, because the easy solution doesn't work, or it might work very short term, but you don't want that, okay? You want to radiate so much health that you would just feel amazing, trust me. Anyway, okay, I'm getting off topic here. Stay on the topic, right? Tongue scraper, some sort of natural floss or whatever. Don't get any with any antibiotics on or whatever. Just natural floss. Again, links down below. Now you can use, when you're brushing your teeth, this one here. I don't support this. Well, I don't not support the brand, but you know what I mean. I'm not sponsored by them or whatever. Fluoride free. That's going to be useful. Big debate on whether that's good or bad. Personally, I think it's bad, but again, do your own research, come to your own conclusions. And if you don't want to use a toothbrush whatsoever, you can use something called Miswak. And I've used this for a while, and it works extremely well. It's like an alternative to a toothbrush. That's how you spell it, Miswak. Again, links down below. I won't show you my brush. I've not used it for a while, so it's kind of dried up a little bit. But it basically looks like a twig, and you cut it back a bit, and it has the bristles in there, and you can brush your teeth with that. And I'll tell you, it's a lot more effective for kind of keeping your teeth healthy and removing any plaque that's on there than a toothbrush. That's been my experience. However, when I did use it for quite a few months, it doesn't give you the same fresh breath, or also my teeth weren't as white, I think because maybe a lot of toothpaste have whitening ingredients in, and that's fine as long as you're aware of what the ingredients are in your toothpaste. And a good toothpaste should specify clearly what the ingredients are and where the origins of them ingredients are, okay? So just something to bear in mind. Ideally, maybe you could use both, a bit of miswak, a bit of conventional toothbrushing. But yeah, this isn't about how to get white teeth. That's probably a separate video, and it's not something I know enough about to talk about right now. But yeah, so just good mouth health, oral hygiene. It's going to help with your digestion. Digestion starts in the mouth, and again, poor digestion can lead to skin problems. This is going to bring us on to diet, really, because this is what it comes down to when we're talking about what we're ingesting internally. It's diet. Okay, now as I specialize in human nutrition at degree level, and I'm nearly qualified now, very nearly, just a couple more months. I could go on this subject forever, and in fact I might have to make a separate video, but to give you guys a basis, many people experience bad skin symptoms from dairy, okay? So try eliminating it. As a nutritionist, it's advised that I don't encourage you to get rid of any food groups, okay? So all I'm gonna say for this, maybe consider removing dairy, but make sure you have something to replace it with. Many people's concerns with removing dairy lie with calcium, a mineral that's got a lot of attention, and it seems like from what they tell you that you can only get calcium from milk. Well, that's a big fat lie. So if you're gonna stop having milk, I'd probably start eating more legumes, eating more green leafy vegetables, okay? Stuff like collard greens, spring greens, kale, all very high in calcium. So you'll probably find you get better health from swapping dairy for green leafy vegetables, but I'm not getting into this debate because it's beyond the scope of this video, and that is a separate video in and of itself. So maybe consider removing dairy. A lot of people have had good results with that. Again, with meat products, fish, many people have had good results with removing them from their diet. So obviously now I'm talking about more plant-based diets for skin health. Again, I'll leave some links down below, but you can just search on YouTube, and many people have experienced really good results from doing plant-based diets, regarding everything's properly nutritionally planned. Again, beyond the scope of this video, and you got to make sure that you're getting your omega-3s and stuff. You can get vegan plant-based omega-3 supplements now with EPA and DHA and all of that stuff, synthesized from algae. But also, if you're eating enough different like oils and stuff like flaxseed oil and whatever, you're going to cover a lot of your bases. And just as well, if you're eating a lot of vegetables, that's going to help boost your omega-3. But there's a lot, it's a very controversial area in nutrition, so let's just leave it at that for now. Some people have experienced good results from plant-based diets, not saying that you would need to go on a plant-based diet to achieve good skin, but something I have personally noticed is that when I did go into more of a plant-based diet, like 99% plant-based, better skin health straight away. So just something to bear in mind. Yeah, so we're talking about maximizing vegetable intake, definitely going to be key. Getting in lots of different legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and that's kind of cultivated the best health for me. Raw foods, okay, raw foods really help out a lot. And if you can make big salads, stuff like avocado, really good. But big raw salads, sprouted legumes is going to be optimal. All sprouted food, and I believe a raw food diet would be the best. I don't personally do it for skin health, but I have experimented with a fully raw diet, and I can tell you that you would get some really good skin health from that. But I'm not saying jump into it straight away. You need to know what you're doing. You need to be aware of the different nutritional concerns, what supplements you may need to take, okay? Because it's very difficult to plan. Well, it's difficult to plan any diet to ensure that someone's getting optimum nutrient levels, okay? But just be aware, and don't just jump into it blindly, and make sure you know your different sources and where you're going to be getting your nutrition from when you do this, if you decide to do that, okay? That's a big step, becoming raw vegan. Maybe just, I'd say for now, more plant foods in the diet. So that's my take on that. If you've got any more questions, again, comment down below. I have lots to say, and I do a dissertation on plant-based diets, so let's just leave it at that. By no means am I judging anyone who eats an animal-based diet or whatever. Okay, each to their own. You know, we've all been there. We've all growing, learning, changing our opinions. Okay, no judgment, no hate, just personal experience. So digestion, a lot of people have very messed up digestion, and you would maybe have to look at stuff like food combining. Again, I'm not the best person to ask on that, and a few people have asked me about food combining, and I've been thinking about it, but honestly I don't think it's an area that I have enough experience in yet to talk about. But it's something that I will link some stuff down below so you can have a look at different food combining and what people are saying. But something I do have experience with is using probiotics to improve gut health. Definitely going to be beneficial. The ones that I've used with good success is apple cider vinegar. Again, it's going to be raw with the mother. That's what you're getting all the enzymes in, all the probiotics. And stuff like sauerkraut I've also used, which is really good, which is like fermented. You use like cabbage, but you can put whatever else you want in. It's really good. So maybe investigate fermented foods. There's loads more, but then are just the two that I have a good level of experience with. Again, links down below. Okay, so we've discussed 4 elements. Externally what we're doing, internally what we're eating in the diet. Now we're just going to touch a little bit on supplements, perhaps. I would say that MSM, link down below, mixed with some lemon juice, has been really beneficial for me personally. And it's not an expensive supplement, it's very cheap. A lot of you will be able to afford it. And also diatomaceous earth has been very beneficial for my skin. Again, not going to go into it in this video, links down below if you want to do your own research on that. And then obviously, like we talked about earlier, making sure you're getting enough nutrition from your diet, food first approach primarily, but then knowing which supplements could be beneficial. A lot of people are iodine deficient, it's a very big problem. And B12 deficient, perhaps. It's not just a vegan problem, it's a worldwide problem due to over sanitation of food, etc, etc. Again, beyond the scope of this video, I'm not telling you to take B12 and iodine, but again, might be worth researching and having a think about. So, okay, we've talked about that. Now let's move on to the final chapter, which is highly controversial, and I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a spiritual guru who has meditated on a mountain for 10,000 years, okay, so this is just a few little insights from what I've noticed. You don't want to be stuck in a mentality a victim mentality that you have bad skin and you'll always have bad skin, and that's just the way it is. You've got to believe that you can have clear skin. You've got to believe it, okay? You can subconsciously ingrain this in yourself, like there's all this stuff like where you can be like, I have good skin, my skin is getting healthier every day, all these positive affirmations. And like I said, the biggest thing is actually believing that you can change the health of your skin and you're not just stuck that way, okay? Yeah, just, there's a lot more to talk about probably, but I just say try and keep a positive attitude about things and realize that just because the stage you have right now where you have bad skin, don't let it get you down. And I know how difficult that can be, because you might be so conscious about it and not be able to relax, and you'll constantly look in the mirror, or you might feel like everyone's looking at you or whatever. But someone once told me people are too concerned about how they look to worry about how you look, okay? So just remember that. And plus it's like, when you see someone with bad skin, what are you going to think? Oh, they have bad skin, I feel sorry for them, oh, that's unfortunate, or whatever. You're not going to think they have bad skin, they're a horrible person, like, oh, I don't want to talk to them. It's like, if you think that, then, well, each to their own, but you might need to think about that a bit more. Anyway, again, I don't want to get off topic of this video, but just accept where you are right now, embrace it, and know that if you apply the steps that I'm giving you in this video, you look at the links, you do your own research from good reliable sources, that your skin health will change and you're going to get better skin, better health, guaranteed, okay? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously it was a long video, and with that I missed out a few important points that I did want to share with you, so I'm just going to give you the last little list of bonus tips that I could think of to help improve the health of your skin. Okay, so first of all, after you've been doing your exercise, which I highly encourage, anaerobic and aerobic, you'll obviously be sweating a lot, and it's best for you if you can get rid of that sweat as quickly as possible. So ideally, as soon as you've finished exercising, you would have a shower. You wouldn't let all that sweat dry and stay on you for hours and hours. So the quicker you can get that shower after exercise, or just splash some water on your face at least, and the more beneficial it's going to be for you. Okay, so the second tip is we're going to be looking at what you're drinking out of, what you're eating out of, what food containers you're using, etc, etc. And you want to go for metal or glass over plastic containers. Again, beyond the scope of this video, but I'll leave some links down below. So definitely invest in like a metal water bottle or something. In fact, got one here. Again, don't support this brand, I'm not sponsored by them, but Clean Canteen, they do a good one. So if you're curious. Yeah, so there's that. And also, don't touch your skin. This is a big one. A lot of people touch their skin all the time. Subconsciously, they'll put the palm on the face like that. Don't. If you need to itch yourself or something, because all the germs and whatever get on, and bacteria and stuff get on your fingers. And not that you should be scared of that, and over sanitation is definitely a bad thing, but so if you've been using like public computers and there's all sorts, you don't really want to be putting that in your face. So if you've got an itch, just use the back of your hand, okay? So that's going to be, that actually helped me out a lot, that, and you won't notice you're doing it so at first, so just consciously start to think about it, and then you won't think about it. Like now, if I've got an itch in my face, use the back of my hand, don't even think about it, okay? Tight clothing. So this is a big one, and if anyone wears a lot of tight clothing, and I know like skinny jeans and stuff are in fashion now, you may find that if you've got really sensitive skin to this sort of stuff, that all that pressure all the time is really gonna flare up any kind of acne or skin irritations or eczema or whatever. So you're either gonna wanna wear loose clothing, or if you are wearing tight clothing, try to limit the use of that. That's the best bit of advice I can get you. Especially it gets really bad if you're sweating a lot in tight clothing. That's where stuff goes bad. So if you go into the gym, maybe instead of wearing your super skin tight tops or whatever, maybe you should just go for a more of a baggy top, okay? Or instead of your really tight leggings or whatever, maybe just go for a looser pair of tracksuit bottoms or whatever. But again, people want to look cool and trendy or whatever. I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. But I know some people do, and it's important to take care of your appearance. But that's just something to consider. So last bit is a bit of nutritional advice that I missed off actually. And it's fasting, so intermittent fasting. I've not got experience with fasting for full days or weeks or whatever, okay? So I'm not recommending that, but I'm talking about intermittent fasting where you'll fast for a portion of the day. So maybe you might skip breakfast, or even some people do like one meal a day at night or stuff. Now, you've got to know what you do nutritionally, nutritional planning to get this, okay? So I'm not recommending this per se, but I'm saying if you know what you're doing, you have a good base of nutritional understanding on where you're getting different vitamins, minerals, proteins, carbohydrates, fats, phytochemicals, all these things from, then you could do an approach like that, and it could be very successful. Some people have the opposite effect, whereas if they do fasting, their acne or eczema or whatever gets worse. Now, I believe that that's mostly due to people getting stressed, because fasting shouldn't be a stressful experience, okay? If you're like saying, all right, okay, I'm not going to eat until lunch, and it's a horrible experience, you're stressed, you just want to eat, you can't concentrate, okay, no good for you. But I'd say try it for a little bit first, try it for a couple of weeks, and if your body's still not adapted, maybe now is not the right time. Maybe after you've implemented all the practical advice in this video, you've got yourself up to a better state of health, then maybe you could try something like that. Again though, not essential, people can get clear skin having 3 meals a day or whatever. So I think that's everything I've got to say now. I think I've got it all out. You know, I probably will have forgotten something, but if you have any comments or anything, please leave them down below. If you want me to go in depth in any of these areas, and I feel that I have sufficient knowledge to do so, I will definitely give you guys them videos. Okay, so until next time, hope you all found it beneficial, and I'll see you later.